Hey, party people, welcome to another hot and fresh Honest Trailers commentaries, released in the doldrums of January. Oh boy, we've got a lot to look forward to, but this week it's Snakes on a Plane. I'm here. I'm here with Lon and Danielle. Of course, this is an homage to the Gerard Butler movie Plane that came out this week, as you all figured out.
Starring
of course,
Plane as Plane.
We were debating whether we're just going to do Money Plane again, but too cheeky. We should have.
We should have gone with Money Plane, or we should have halfway through this one been like, you know what? I'm not even into this anymore. Let's get back to Money Plane, already in progress.
Yeah. And that one would have worked too because the Royal Rumble is on Saturday.
Oh, why didn't we do it? Why didn't we do Airplane? We should have just done Airplane. Oh well.
You know why? Because Airplane's funny, and it's
because Airplane's funny.
It's they're already doing it.
Oh well. Anyways, we're gonna watch Snakes on a Plane. We're gonna talk about the things we cut out. We'll show you. We'll take your questions, put those in the chat, and then we'll tease you with a surprise release for next week that we're
mixing it up.
We're pretty psyched for.
Calling a last second audible.
Yeah. So good movies are on the horizon, but this week, Snakes on a Plane.
I was actually shocked you would have thought at some point in the last decade plus of Honest Trailers, we would have gotten
you would have thought like there'd be a Sam Jackson thing or an airplane thing or a snake thing. If there's a snake thing, we're doing Anaconda because that's a gem. Regardless, Snakes. I had never seen this movie.
Oh no. I feel like Anaconda would hold up better. Anaconda holds up better than this movie.
Nonsense.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's not terrible because it is. Well, okay, it's terrible in the way that it not in the way that like an asylum film is terrible.
Yes,
right.
But it's not good either.
No, it's terrible, but it's not terrible enough.
Yeah,
in a way.
I have
kind of terrible.
Yeah, I have rules for what makes a bad movie good that I kind of stick through. And I think that one of the most important things that makes a bad movie camp and worth watching and interesting is that it can't be that it was meant to be a bad movie. It has to be made with sincerity. And there's no sincerity in this. This is just literally 2006 memes, the version of a 2006 meme.
Yeah, it is disaster movie starring Sam Jackson. The fact that he goes in there and it's a kind of winking commitment, but just to see him do a feature-length sketch of Sam Jackson on a plane with snakes, I found it more entertaining than other movies like this.
It's right. I feel like
I wish it would have either just been just either direction instead of trying to be
well, you can
we're gonna make a good bad movie. No, you can't do that. You can't go in thinking that.
It was gonna be more of a regular thriller in an airplane about
a movie,
like a suspense, like a real movie, like a proper movie. But Samuel Jackson was no, it's got to be more of a B movie. And so there was already this kind of behind the scenes tension. And then the internet came along and was we're making this a meme and a joke. And so you could really feel that tension in the movie. And I'm sorry, whoever were the people on the creative team who were no, we got to take this seriously and make it a real movie. I hope none of them ever worked again. Because Samuel Jackson was right. They should have just listened to him from the beginning. He had the right idea. It should have been a goofy joke the whole time. The fact that you could feel them try to pull it back, we should really explain the black market snake dealer that got them the snakes and where the snakes came from. We should really.
I mean, I think that's a good instinct. They just could have made that more fun and goofy instead of just a generic bad guy.
Right. It's the total tonal mismatch between real movie and then goofy internet joke and why is it even trying to be a real movie? It's so stupid.
It is be a flat out parody instead of trying to be oh, we're gonna make a cult classic. You can't go into something and be we're gonna make a cult classic. That's trying to make new Coke. You don't have control over it.
Because it's even Sharknado, those they know what they're doing. It's consistent. I don't love those movies, but if you are a fan, it's a consistent experience. It knows it's a Sharknado movie from start to finish.
I'm sorry, Lon, I have to stop you right there. Sharknado?
I'm joking. It's
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, no, because look, I've been
like the South American
the
pronunciation. No, I'm like it's a foreign. Like I was doing like a bit.
Look,
like
I've been
it's
eating a lot
classy
of
foreign.
tunicados from Joe and the Juice, so it sounded good to me, Lon.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tornado with sharks. I understand the premise. I'm just saying.
I mean, I enjoyed Sam Jackson's scenes. I just did. I feel like, do you remember that? I don't know if it ever came out in America, but that like improv show where an actor walks into a set and it's like full of actors and like a scene that they've never walked into before, and then they improvise from there. It's very fun.
That was college.
I don't know.
We used to do that in college. Improv 101, baby.
And I feel like they took Sam Jackson, like he walked onto a set and it was an airplane full of snakes. And then like he went back to what he's most comfortable with, which is just yelling instructions at the top of his lungs on an airplane full of snakes. And I had a good enough time with that. And then I do think this was also entertaining to me, seeing it in 2023 as like an early 2000s time capsule. That kind of kept me entertained for sure. So let's watch it all together. Let's take throw on your Jinkos. My eras are all mixed up. What did you wear in the early 2000s? Probably your tight jeans. And then let's watch Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah, no, Jinkos were gone by then. I'm trying to remember if I had a crotch pocket in 2006, and I did not. That was when you put your drugs, because they couldn't get girls above the knee.
From the studio who released Lord of the Rings and still lost money that year, and a director who's been trying to get animals on planes since his debut.
There's animals on the runway!
Comes a B-movie that delivers exactly what it promises in the title. Snakes on a Plane. Snakes? Check. Plane? Check. In 2006.
So pause.
Not much we can do from there.
Can't really add to that.
Already honested it up. Yeah.
And there was a whole thing in interviews where Sam Jackson's talking about how they wanted to change the title to like Flight 147 or something, and he's like, no,
Pacific 612 or like some generic plane move, like plane basically.
No way. But then the director's explanation for that was they were having a hard time getting real actors to audition for something called Snakes on a Plane. So they retitled it in like the casting call to get people to show up for like a real disaster movie and not Snakes on a Plane. So there's your background.
It's like Passenger 57 or like something like that.
I really worked for a long time on trying to come up with a good Passenger 57 pun for that. I never really got
50 Venoms, Snakes.
Well,
D7.
like there's like the doofy witness they're transporting. I was like Passenger 50 Kevin. Never quite. Closer. That was as close.
Which apparently Kevin's a slur in Germany. I didn't know.
But and France.
That's what Twitter is.
Wait, for what? What does it mean?
It just means Kevin? Like Kevin is like a name for like a stupid person. And so apparently someone on Twitter this week was like, I didn't know that Kevin was just an actual name you named people outside of Germany. Although they could be playing one of those delightful German pranks that my people are known for.
Yeah, and it's in well, first of all, shout out to our editor Kevin Williamson, very talented and bright man.
So funny.
But it's the Kevins of the world.
Yeah, right. It's so weird.
I thought in France it means like you're kind of like it's like a hick name, like
yes,
Kevin.
It'd be like that. Like that's their like Cletus.
Yeah, I'm looking at. There's this New Yorker article how Kevin's got a bad rap in France. So that's your supplementary reading for today's Honest Trailer Commentaries.
We love you, Kevins. Not all of you, probably. I mean, there is at least one we need to talk about.
Costner, Klein, many great Kevins out there.
Let's move on. I'm just thinking about different Kevins.
In 2006, fans convinced New Line Cinema that Snakes on a Plane was gonna be a smash hit, cranking out early internet memes, launching blogs, and turning their suggestions into reshoots, until it finally came out and proved for the first time that the online weirdo audience may be smaller than it appears.
Yeah, so pause. This was like an early Morbius situation where everyone was like, we're going to see this movie. And then it came out and they said, no, we're not.
Nope. We're going to pirate this movie.
Yeah. I went during opening weekend to see this. I saw this in theaters when it opened. And it was a packed house when I saw it on like the Saturday night when I saw it. And you could feel in the room, like when the movie passed the 12-minute mark or so, you could feel everyone coming to the collective realization that we'd wasted our time. Like, oh, it's not going to be fun. Like, this isn't going to be one of the, like, you kind of went in thinking it was going to be like an RRR thing. Like, we were going to joke and dance and laugh together, and it was going to be this great communal experience. And then right away, it becomes obvious that it's just not that kind of movie, and it's not really working. And I remember there's that moment where Samuel Jackson goes, everybody, we got to put a barrier
between us and the snakes.
And the snakes. And that was in like all the trailers and was an internet meme at the time. And a guy yelled it out with Samuel L. Jackson. No reaction. The crowd at all. It was just it just sank on delivery. And we were all like, yeah, now we're all sitting in this together for the next hour. Just
like this is not going to be the new like Rocky Horror. Like Rocky, this is not
right. Everybody thought it was going to be this like big, like we were all going to the Minions movie in our suits, and it just didn't.
The issue is though that I feel like in this case the fans had the right instincts, because apparently what they were pushing for was like make it more of a schlocky movie. They added the MFR line like at fans' request.
It should have been all that from the beginning. Why are you ever trying to tell a real story about snakes on a plane? That's not a good story.
You know what I'm realizing it needed when you're talking about like RRR and stuff like that is like you needed a rival snake. You needed Sam Jackson and like a snake,
friendly snake, like a gizmo snake.
Sure, but it's missing a villain outside of the general concept of snakes and planes. What you needed was like a personal connection to like, that's the snake that killed my partner, and it's the king snake. Like, this is the worst snake. I need like a final showdown between me and this one, like a Meg snake.
Right. Well, we were doing the Meg, and we were like, how could you make this movie and not have Jason Statham like fight the shark? Like, obviously, we want to see Jason Statham fight a shark.
I want to watch him punch him in the face. Yeah.
Right. I feel like you're exactly right. That it needs to be Samuel Jackson fighting snakes. And there's one shot where he grabs a snake and just whips it against the side of the plane, and it's like,
more
yes, I want way more snake foo and way less like generic disaster movie. Like, we got to go here, we got to hide.
Now the plane's breaking down.
Yeah.
Well, and it's very. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson had a partner that was on the plane that had been his dude that he'd been ride or die with for years. So they could have had that beat that like when that like big, huge, anaconda or whatever comes out, kills his partner, he's like, ugh, and like that becomes like his like breaking point, and it becomes it's personal.
And you need the final duel at the end. Anyways, we'll rewrite Snakes on a Plane next week.
Keep playing. Snake. Then we needed one brain snake.
It's afraid.
It's afraid.
Lord Eddie Kim has just one shot to kill a key witness before he testifies, and he's not leaving anything to chance, smuggling a bomb onto his plane and blowing it up to release a bunch of snakes. To release a bunch of snakes? Because when you want to leave no witnesses, you wrangle 400 deadly snakes from a third party in Los Angeles.
Only one guy could arrange this many illegal snakes.
Have those snakes shipped to Honolulu, rig their cage hatch with explosives, ship those snakes back to Los Angeles, bring on an inside man at the airport to tip you off on which plane to target, employ different guys to load the actual snakes onto the plane and soak the passengers' legs with pheromones, hire another person to break into the plane and open an access panel ahead of time.
Somebody rigged this access panel door to stay open so the snakes could get out.
All instead of just shooting this oaf at the airport or just spiking his Red Bull.
You know all those security scenarios we ran? Well, I'm smack in the middle of one we didn't think of.
Because the whole snake thing is insane. They're
so
some
pause.
of the deadliest creatures.
Also, one thing Lon pointed out that I hope CinemaSins got it too, is they don't give you lays when you leave Hawaii.
No one go back to Los Angeles. That would just be uncomfortable to sit on a plane for 6 hours with a bunch of flowers on
a red eye to LAX, and then you
It's really also, arriving in Honolulu. They put the lake because now you're in
Hawaii,
tropical paradise.
And then you like take it off and you do all your touristy stuff, down in Waikiki. You go visit the various ABC stores, which are basically the Starbucks of Hawaii. Also, you're not just gonna sit with a wet lay on for like 6 hours.
This one smells like it smells like snake cum.
You could also just like
smell like two snakes getting it on.
Just spray the pheromone in the cabin. You don't need them to be hidden on the lake. What are you doing,
Eddie Kim?
I also
he said he had no other option. The kids saw him. Also, you could have just First of all, it also very much seems that they added in like 2 to 3 excess minutes of extreme dirt biking, but also the kid's an extreme dirt biker. You don't have to go to his house. Wait till the next time that he's biking on dirt, and then you just like push him.
Nature would have taken
then
its
he
course
falls
on
and he
that guy,
dies,
for
and it's
sure.
like, oh yeah, like tragic dirt bike accident.
Right.
You were
But
talking
no,
about
Snakes,
this movie
much easier.
as a time capsule. One thing that was fun about 2006 is they keep doing that, like the Fight Club, like push the camera through the boxes of snakes, like CG, like animation, like we're gonna drop through the levels of the plane to the lowest level and see where the bomb is, and then go up through the floor. And it's like it doesn't look good, but in 2006 we were still like, whoa,
we loved it. Folks, we loved
can't
it.
really do that.
Yeah. Should have saved the money for
really cool in Fight
more
Club.
rubber
It was really
snakes.
cool when Fincher did it in Fight Club.
Yeah. All right, keep going.
They're some of the deadliest creatures on Earth. They can attack without warning.
Really, I never...
And one has just been unleashed 30,000 feet in the air. A Samuel L. Jackson protagonist. FBI agent Neville Flynn is a bad mother.
I have had it with these snakes on this plane.
Or if you're watching it on cable TV.
I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
He's here to save the day the only way a Sam Jackson protagonist knows how. Yelling.
We have to put a barrier between us and the snakes. Let's go. Everybody move forward. Cautiously. Eddie Kim.
Cautiously.
Will. What was the first thing I said to you? Left. Turn this big left, Troy.
And it's a good thing he does, because his co-star isn't bringing much to the table.
Come on, that's great.
Yeah, fine.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Nathan Phillips. You are the Sam Worthington of Jai Courtney's.
Flynn! Hey, they got a snake guy on the phone.
Get to know.
First of all, this is something I
acting.
mentioned that we had talked about. This should have been a Speed, and his character should have been Sandra Bullock, and that would have made this entire movie like.
Well, I feel like Keenan should have been Sandra Bullock. Is like I'm the guy who learned how to fly from a video game. Like I now have to keep the plane going because like you could have killed off David.
Keep him as Keenan though. Like,
yeah, no, he's
still agree
playing
with that.
Keenan. Yeah, he's playing Keenan, flying back from SNL vacation or whatever. Yeah, that dude. And this was an influential movie in a lot of ways because that guy is one of the many, and I didn't realize how many there are, Australian hunks who play generic white action heroes.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
a long, proud line.
That's why I said Sam Worthington, Jai Courtney, all the Hemsworths. There's so
Mel
many
Gibson until he learned how to act.
Right. There was
Edgerton, right? Joel.
Yes,
Edgerton.
that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Gerard
I
Butler.
mean,
No,
Russell
Gerard Butler's
Crowe?
not Australian.
Is
Russell
Crowe?
Crowe. Is he
Russell
Australian?
Crowe. Yeah.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
Charlie
He
Hunnam.
was-
Charlie
Eric
Hunnam.
Bana is amazing because Eric Bana was a stand-up comedian in Australia. He was
That's
not like
wild
a
to me.
action
I can't
star.
even. I gotta look that up.
And it was
Also,
only like he came over here and smoldering good looks became like a romantic lead.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'd
Also,
love to see
what's his
Eric
name?
Bana.
The dude. He was in all of the Xenas and the Herculeses, and then he did some Star Treks and some Marvels, and I can't think of his name right off the top. But he's either Australian. Oh, I don't say that, Danielle. Oh no, they're gonna eat me up in the comments. He's either Australian or New Zealand. I'm so sorry.
No,
Kiwis and
don't
Aussies.
mix up your
Oh, they're
Aussies
gonna
with
murder
Kiwis,
me. Oh,
Danielle.
I just made a that's what they call an unforced error.
Mm.
That was an unforced
happy with
error. But
that.
yeah, no, he was in the new one with the Zachary Quinto, and it's gonna bother me now, so I have to look it up or I'm gonna die.
Crikey.
Not Eric Bana, who was actually also in that.
Oh, Carl Urban? Are you thinking of Carl
Urban.
Yeah.
Carl Urban has
Crazy.
transcended
Carl
that.
Urban.
I think these are just kind of lunky dudes that don't have.
Once you become Dread, you're in a category.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. That's
You've
what I-
reached escape
But I
velocity.
fell in love with him on Xena and Hercules. So
Nice.
I didn't even know he was from those shows.
Yeah.
I'll show you clips.
All right, let's keep going.
Entire cabin's worth of hacky stereotypes, like fake Cher from Clueless, played by an actual fake Cher from Clueless. A germophobic rapper who seems a lot more relatable now after COVID.
I told y'all stop touching on me and coughing on me. It's disgusting up in here.
Keenan, the turtle of his entourage. A couple on their honeymoon. Kids traveling alone. Snooty Brit from First Class. Pervy pilot. Old veteran who dies 1 month short of retirement. Horny teenagers. Salty nuns. Old women who speak jive. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Oh, wait, I was thinking of Airplane again. Can we just watch Airplane again?
And that, as much as anything else, led to my drinking problem.
That's better.
So pause. Did any characters kind of transcend the complete hack back of the napkin stereotype for you? I mean, we all love Keenan. He was trying. He was.
Yeah, Keenan does the very best that I think you could possibly do with this material. It is funny to spot, like, you know, a few of the people who play those like background characters, like Taylor Kitsch is one of the background.
That blew my mind. Yeah, I did not catch that the first time.
So like that's fun, but no, it's really like hacky and thin. The whole like everybody's got like a dumb bit, you know, like. And it's that kind of mean-spirited like 80s comedy, you know, where it's like everybody's like a mean stereotype. They're all like dumb or horny or like
idiots.
Ugly. Yeah, like no
snobs.
It's all just like this put down kind of insult.
Unfriendly black hotties. Like that.
I will say that for as snooty as the British guy was, I think if you're on a red eye, you get bumped from first class and then put in a middle seat between a baby and a dog. You're gonna be a little bit snooty.
Yeah, I understand Juliana Margulies being like, this flight, you know, like it's that they're asking a lot of their flight attendants.
But you know what's great is that the movie correctly predicted that the offense for that is murder by snake.
Yep, that's right. You get eaten by a snake.
You are rude. Snake eats your head.
Be polite. Okay, let's keep going.
Back to the naughty oddies for a creature feature that's pretty self-aware.
That's good news. Snakes on crack.
But most of the time, feels like something Beavis and Butthead would come up with on the couch.
Hey, Butthead, what if, like, the airplane toilet had a snake inside, and when you went to pee on it, it, like, bit you on the wiener?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, this hot chick takes her clothes off in there, and, like, a snake pops out and bites her in the boob.
Yeah, and then, like, a snake bites someone on their butt. That'd be cool.
Yeah, fire!
Starring The Hateful Freight, Witless for the Prosecution, The Good Flight, Paris, Texas Hilton, 3-6 Mafia.
Paris, Texas. That's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Great movie.
I just wanted to bring that up just as long as we're if you're looking for a good movie to watch, try that one.
Yeah, can't complain. I will also say IMDb says there are 2 cameos in this film.
Yeah, I couldn't find them.
Paris Hilton and then another gentleman who I don't think we need to shout out. And I didn't see either of them.
There are clear analogies for them as these characters,
right?
But
yes,
they're not.
So I wonder if it's like there was a version of the script where they were just like, I'm just going to put in the name of the person that this should be, and we'll change it later.
Blatantly untrue. Like
add in something funny here later.
Yeah. By the way, this would be so much better if they used the real Paris Hilton in that role.
There's
That'd
no
be
reason
incredible.
not to.
And she was acting around then. Why not?
Yeah.
Have her come to the Stars
This was
Line.
hottier than the naughty era.
Yeah. Wow. Keep going.
Grizz and .com.
What the?
Whammy! Bobby Cannavale, Elsa Pataki playing a new mom whose baby is in extreme danger on a plane. Part 1 of 2. Tim Porkins, Cobra Commander, and Snake Vision Goggles.
A lot of this.
Like it was like the snakes were the predator.
Love Snake Vision. This is the best the best decision they made in the entire movie was Snake Vision, honestly.
Snake via. Now you
Okay, look, Snakes on a Plane is a perfect title, but just for fun. Black Snake Flown. Reptile wins. 10 points for Slytherin.
Monty Python's Flying Serpents.
You know, I feel like this airplane was about to crash no matter what.
And any one of those slimy little pieces of can trip a circuit or a relay or hydraulic, and this bird goes down faster than a Thai hooker.
Yeah, I was amazed how vulnerable an airplane was to snakes. I feel like if you released a box, no matter how many of snakes in the cargo hold of an airplane, they would not bring the whole thing crashing down.
That's
I mean, panic, but like they wouldn't chew through the airplane unless it's Spirit Airlines. Hope they're not our sponsor.
No, a bottle of Coke would chew through that. Like, if you put a Diet Coke and like it would dissolve it like a penny.
Yeah.
You don't want to be poisoned by a snake? That is an extra $12.
That'll be a charge.
That's $12. You got to pay an extra $12 fee to not get bitten by a snake.
It's a snake fee. It's on there.
Yeah.
At this low price point, snakes can bite.
And if you say no, they just spray you with the anger hormone.
Yeah.
Good times.
Plus no pillow.
Did those snakes think there was just an orgy happening? And they're like, why do all these people keep stopping our orgy? I'm just trying to get
my
hang on.
From the snake's perspective, this was just a big misunderstanding.
I thought she wanted it.
They thought they were going to an Eyes Wide Shut party, and then all of a sudden Samuel Jackson is yelling at them,
shooting him with a harpoon. That's my wife.
It's like I didn't know the house password. They didn't tell me.
I left my keys in the book.
So yeah, bit of a missed opportunity. Could have been better, but decent enough. A real filler film, both in itself and for Honest Trailers, because boy, we have fun stuff coming up. Don't worry. And thank you for watching, because you're the real ones. If you're watching the commentary for Snakes on a Plane, welcome to the party, pal. This is the real clubhouse. Print out a cool merit badge for yourself that you watch this video. And I'd say like and subscribe and hit the bell. But if you're watching this, you already do. Thank you.
Listen, these are the hardcores.
Thank you for joining us again. And let's see if there's any outtakes.
That the online weirdo audience may be smaller than it appears, but it won't be the last time a studio makes that mistake. Definitely not the last time. Starring Window Seat, Unsnakeable, Samuel L. Jackson, Phony Hawk, Just a Teenage Dirtbike, Baby, The Morning Show, Eris, Cher Horowitz, Three Hiss Mafia, R-Phobie, Biggie Crawls, All Splat, Keenan and, well, Gamer Great, Canceled Pilot, Todd Tracker, The S-Files, Special Agent Harris, John Harder. Oh, wow, cool. There's a badass looking kickboxer on board. Can't wait to watch him fight some snakes with his kickboxing skills. Wait, no? Not even one time? Then why would you bring that up at all?
Terrible. Send them to movie jail for that. If you have a character in the first act, this is Chekhov's kickboxer. He's like got like a cool scar on his face, and he's kind of a little beat up. He's wearing a tank top, and they're like, I'm a kickboxer. I'm gonna take my seat now. That man needs to kickbox at some point.
A snake. He needs to kick a snake. I think that we all know what needs to happen, and it doesn't happen. It's just like, come on.
There has to be a moment where he is what stands between the snakes and a baby.
He needs to be kicking a lot of snake ass throughout the thing. And then to set up even bigger, the big snake that killed Sam Jackson's partner, he needs to lose the kickboxing match at the end. So it's like, wow, now this is a really threatening snake. Sam Jackson's going to have his hands full. He's going to have to rely on everything he learned along this journey to take out
snakes. Like none of these snakes has even seen Bloodsport, and it's really embarrassing for them.
It's really embarrassing. God, I was about to bring up Andrew Tate, but we don't need to. No. but how great would it be to have him eaten by a snake in this movie? In our remake,
friends are bed bugs and lice and snakes.
Could the snakes just get the podcast equipment first?
Yeah,
just snakes on a pod, and
snakes on a pod.
Snakes. It's just snakes eating everyone's podcast equipment. Sounds amazing.
Done, sold. All right, so we have some great questions rolling in. Let's dive into those. Pericles Dragon Ball. Snakes on a Plane is infamous for the monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane edit. What's your favorite edited line for television?
It's got to be Stranger in the Alps, I think.
French a Stranger in the Alps?
Yeah. I don't really remember. I know there used to be a lot of really good examples of this, but I don't really remember a lot of them clearly.
Yeah, because
then they
it's
got
been so
better
long
at it.
since I watched
I don't watch
film on
any of these
cable.
anymore. There is that great Mr. Show sketch, Pallies. Do you remember this? Where it's Goodfellas, but what if Goodfellas was edited for television?
No.
Where they actually like, like so Odenkirk is like flipping a guy off, but then they actually cut out a bit of the screen and replace it with a thumbs up.
Oh,
like a cutout.
Nice.
It's really funny. Look it up. Mr. Show Pallies is a great sort of riff on that whole idea.
I think what's it called? Usual Suspects is like, give me the keys, you fairy godmother. That was pretty good.
Right, yeah. Well, because that one is such a crucial line. They repeat it throughout the whole scene. Yeah.
Yeah. But really, I think that my favorite thing are scenes that are only in the Chinese release of certain films, like Iron Man 3, where he gets a life-changing operation by a team of hardworking mainland China doctors. Then they're never. That's it. It's just its own little subplot of like, wow, thank you, Tony Stark, or the other way around. Like, thank you, China.
Thank you, Chinese doctors, for saving me.
Yeah. Hard to find that version, but it's out there. All right.
Up in the Disney vault.
Yeah. Let's see. Evan J. Pretzer, aside from Jackson, Ford, or Cruise, what actor or actress would you want to yell at you on a plane while trying to keep you alive?
Oh, Butler. I mean, Butler's the inheritor of this proud tradition, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah, G-Butts. He could do it for sure. Yeah.
Ray Liotta's also in a great like airplane disaster thriller, Turbulence. Still, not a lot of modern love for Turbulence, but that was fun.
Viola Davis would be a good yelling at you while trying to get you to get some stuff done.
Yeah.
I feel like Amanda Waller could be that person. Like, she's got a team in the air and she's barking at them.
This is all great. These are all too good, though. I think like Charlize Theron is a step away from doing movies like this.
Oh yeah, sure.
She could definitely yell her way through a plane full of snakes.
Well, I mean, Liam Neeson also had his memorable like commuting series where he did like eight movies or action movies in a row set on various forms of transportation.
Yeah.
Unknown, The Passenger. He's got a bunch of those.
This is a really thought-provoking one, though. So keep your answers coming in the chat. I like this one a lot.
Wahlberg, I think, would be another one that people would.
Oh, sure. Around. He must have had at least one air survival thing at this point. No, Wahlberg.
Oh, he saves it for real life.
Right. No, yeah, he was gonna stop 9/11.
Yes, that's where it was. That one. Raynard City Update Channel says, what film from the past would have benefited from internet meme hype? This is an interesting one of like, what would have been the internet darling of like an 80s or early 90s film where the fans would have gone? I mean, obviously any Star Wars sequel would have been crazy, but they didn't need it. They didn't need the internet.
Can you imagine if something like Deliverance came out today? Like a movie that really like blew
Deliverance,
minds
interesting.
in the 60s or 70s. Like if they just dropped that on unsuspecting internet fans in the 2020s.
That'd be interesting, yeah. Because that one, the squeal like a pig would have been like a crazy meme at the.
Because that shocked America, but you kind of had to see the movie to like. It wasn't just like everybody learned about that on the same day. Like today, that would be like the trailer would land and be like, "Did you guys see this movie with huge like Adam Driver and Chris Hemsworth are in it, and they run afoul of some like bayou people, and like it would just I can't imagine the reaction the internet would have to that.
I think that Masters of the Universe would be another one of those where it's like that would be a Morbius, or it'd be like, oh, we're all going to go see Masters of the Universe. It's like, I think we have something here. We're going to re-release it. It's like, no, we'll take more Masters of the Universe fuel though.
I think the animated Lord of the Rings people would have gone crazy over and then been furious at that it wasn't, like the books enough.
Yeah, it's like all the stuff that already kind of went like 80s viral. Like it'd be fascinating. Like Masters of the Universe is an example. Like Howard the Duck too, where there was already like a weird cultural fascination around it, but that would have just been magnified 1,000 times, especially with George Lucas's name on it. I can only imagine what Howard the Duck would.
If the Warriors came out in a world with like cosplay and like people doing that would have been great. We'd had 7 more of those.
I would say that like duck titties would have trended for a weekend.
Yeah.
Duck
also,
nips.
like the Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh my
God! It's hard to imagine some of this crazy Gonzo 80s cinema being dropped today.
Yeah. Let's leave you guys with this. Sorry, I'm making you work so much for on the spot, but Daisu Saikoro is asking us to do our ideal animal and vehicle combination.
Wait, for like a movie or
for a movie? Yeah, for a movie.
Like, we've seen snakes on a plane, so you would ideally want to do blank on a blank.
Yeah.
Let me see. I feel like
raccoons on a rocket.
Ooh, I like that. It's alliterative too. I definitely want it to be people are stuck in the underground Tesla Hyperloop tunnel. I'm just trying to think of what the best
animal you want
to
down there.
Stick them down. I almost feel like
I think that
one tiger or something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like a magic act full of animals down at that tunnel.
Yeah.
We gotta get to circus. It's the circus.
So it's like a tiger, a bear that's riding around on a little cart, and like one other animal in the Tesla Hyperloop.
A smoking monkey or something with like
there you go.
Ching, ching, ching.
We're under the strip. They can't get up. We're stuck in the Hyperloop tunnel. Elon Musk is there for some reason, and
they just unleash those babies like.
Well, no, I think
deadly tiger.
It's Elon Musk is the one who released the tigers and shut it down because somebody was about to, I don't know, file a lawsuit or something like that.
Yeah, there's whistleblowers down there. Yes. You nailed it. We cracked the story.
Done and sold. I was just gonna say chimps on a blimp. So that's because it rhymes. Yeah. All right. We're done. We're done here. We're done with Snakes on a Plane. It doesn't deserve any more of our time or attention or thought. If you want to keep it on the background, it's fine for a movie like that. But next week, hopefully, something that is campy, something that is occasionally scary, maybe has got some action in it, and will maybe make you laugh, and maybe be a better time at the theater. I'm only halfway through it, but so far so good.
Already a sequel, so it's some people must have enjoyed it. There's already a sequel has been greenlit. So
yeah, action, comedy, horror. You could say it's a triple threat. So we'll see. We'll see you next week for Honest Trailer Commentaries. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.